Hive Mind Podcast.
2, 1. What's up? You're watching the HIVEMIND podcast. We're back. Graydon's missing. He's sick. Got the whooping cough. You know what I mean? He'll be back some point. But I'm here with two very talented individuals. I'm excited. I'm with Annie Noelker and Mo Elkholti.
Yep.
All right. So today we're going to talk about our favorite album covers. All right. We're three different graphic designers. We all specialize in something different. Annie's a photographer. I'm a cartoon illustrator animator, and Mo is a 3D artist.
Yep.
So we're going to start by showing a few of the album covers that we've done to kind of showcase our style and kind of the vantage point of the way that we will talk about the album covers, and then we'll get into some of our favorites of all time, and then some controversial ones and give our opinions. So we're going to start with Annie. Annie, let's talk about some of the covers that you've done first.
Okay, so the first one that I'm going to talk about is OG Verne's Summer's Over.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the very first photo shoots that I've ever done in the music scene. Evan the Redheaded introduced me to OG Verne, and we set up this shoot, not intending it to be an album cover or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just this like iconic, life-changing moment in like both of our lives. Like I would not be where I am or doing what I'm doing if I had not met these people. So it means a lot to me.
Very sick. Cool. And then...
So, Grandace's also Kodachrome. I keep wanting to say something else, but also Kodachrome.
Yeah.
I just love Jody so much. Oh my god.
Grandace
He's one
is
of my
great.
favorites. But for this, so he sent me the music, and I listened to it and got this really like earthy kind of feel for it. So
Nature.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was the botanical garden, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So we spent like an hour or two in there and like talked for most of the time. I think I only shot like 50 or so photos, but and this ended up being the shot that he chose in color.
Yeah. Very great. All right, and then this one?
And then, okay, so this is Mrs. Fox by Internet Boy.
Mm-hmm.
For this, it was like a Valentine's Day release. He wanted something like super cute. And oh, there it is.
And this is all
There's the
practical.
accent.
This is practical, right? Like you like ripped paper and have him shot through it. That's so sick.
Yeah. We like ran to Target, didn't really have any plan at all. I like don't plan anything that I do ever.
Yeah.
And we just shot in his room, and I had flash, and we had this those little candy hearts and like a poster, like school board kind of thing. And this was like one of the last things we did. We ended up just like ripping it up, and I was like, stick your face in that, and threw some candy on him, and there it is.
Awesome. All right, Mo, how about you?
All right. So that one I did it for my friend Star Spectre. It's called Dead Tone. And this one, I guess the reason why I like it is because like this one is where I actually like try to do a lot more texturing stuff. So like you can see there's so much like blood all over it.
Yeah,
pretty
blood
much.
smears and-
Yeah, like the genre was mainly like it's like more dubstep, but like tech. It's like it's more dubstep heavy, so it's like and more like the darker side. So that's where I was like he sent me the song, and when I listened to it, that's like the vibe that I got off from it, and it was called Dead Tone. So like a phone booth that's like bloody. Kind of made sense because like the way he described it to me, it's like somebody got like he had like this whole every time he says me something, he has like this kind of scenario in his head.
Yeah.
And he just sends it to me. So I really like this one because mainly like the texture, and I was trying to like do a art cover, but also like kind of challenge myself with it. So like the tiling in the back, there's like tiling, like I had like to put some texture overlays on it and stuff like that. And if you zoom a little bit closer on the number thing, it says Dead Tone right here.
Oh,
yeah.
nice. Okay.
So I really like that one mainly because like that actually tried to challenge myself on that one, and it kind of worked out perfectly. There was a lot of variations, but it was pretty good.
Awesome.
Super cool.
All right.
Next, this was actually the first album cover that was a 3D render because I used to do like 2D and draw and paint before that, but like as a 3D artist, that was the first one. It was for my buddy Tafka. The song's called Stranded, and pretty much just like main concept was like an astronaut that got stuck in a planet or an asteroid, whatever you want to
Yeah.
think about it, but he got stranded and he's there for a long time, and he's dead. Now he's just cool.
So is this built on a photo? Or is everything 3D?
Oh, it's all 3D.
All
like
3D
everything
rendered?
that you see, it's all 3D rendered. So
That's
like
crazy.
the texturing, the displacements on the maps and all that stuff.
It looks like a tilt shifted photo.
It does, yeah.
Like how it's like blurred at the bottom and the top.
Yeah, so like that's what I like about 3D art a lot, because like you're pretty much using a bunch of like other like skill sets. Cause like photography, I'm pretty much
Yeah, the
using the
lighting.
camera
right
inside the computer.
Yeah, it's all like in camera choices.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And like messing with the f-stops, the apertures, and all that stuff to get that composition and like the focus.
Yeah.
Then after that, I will take that and post and like add like some effects. Like for that one, you see like a little bit of rainbow on the side like that.
Yeah.
Like a little glare. That's
Yeah.
like just on Photoshop and stuff like that. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. And then Season Fallout. Yeah.
So this one was pretty cool because like he sent me the song, and at first I didn't know what to expect out of it, and I really liked it because that was my first interaction with him. When he sent me the song, and it turned out pretty good. So for this one I use multiple softwares for it because like with the skull, like I will use like a base skull. I'm pretty sure it's probably the same one I used for the album cover before that.
Mm-hmm.
But on top of that, I had to take it to this software called ZBrush. That's where I can model it, and that's where I carve like this is the season.
'Tis the Season. Yeah.
Yeah, and like with his theme, it's like more a gothic and like
Right,
darker,
yeah.
so it kind of fits his aesthetic too. So what I do, like pretty much my process is with this stuff is like I listen to it, probably like a decent amount of time while I'm working on other stuff. Then the imagery that comes in my head, that's kind of what I do, because most of them don't really tell me like a direct concept, like hey, I want this and that. It's like hey, just listen to it and like do whatever
And
you
do your
want.
thing with
Yeah,
it,
exactly.
yeah.
So that's what I came up with. So I like what I like about it's like the vegetations behind it and like the chain links around it and like
Me
the
too.
heart. And I did an animation for it where like the heart was beating to the beat pretty much. So that was cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say, very rare for me. I really like how the parental advisory is
Yeah.
like that. I
Yeah.
usually hate when it's taken out of the black and white for
White,
some
yeah.
reason. But I like the negative space one in this one. It looked like
Appreciate
works with the type. Cool. This first one right here is for a kid named Steel11. He's from Florida, and I found him on SoundCloud and just became a fan of his music. And I followed him, and then he just followed me back. I hit him up. He said, "You want to do cover art for this song I got coming out?" And he sent it to me, and it's a super like poppy song, but he has kind of like he has like an edge to him. Like it's definitely like there's like some darker, I don't know, there's like some darker, it's very like fun and dark and almost like an emo rap type of thing in a certain way. But it's very poppy, and it's all about this car, which I had never heard of and had to look up and figure out how to draw.
What is it?
It's a 240 SX, the name of the song.
Oh.
I've never heard of this car, but yeah, so I just, I drew it, and then I put this skeleton in front of it, and the see-through pants was actually Suicide Rascal's idea, but that was like what made the cover for me.
Yes.
So I don't know
Yeah.
why,
Yeah.
but because I had an idea with pants and without pants, and Kate was like, "What about see-through pants?" So never would have thought of that on my own, honestly. So, but I also, one of my favorite things about it is just this cover up here, because it looks like really like late '90s, like like I don't even know, like Third Eye Blind or something. Like it's like very like, I don't know, 90s. So I really like that. This is the one probably people have seen the most, so I just wanted to talk about it a little bit. But it's Bank Teller with Lil Pump, Lil Uzi Vert, Deso Dub, Smoke Perp, and 03 Greedo. And the things I really like about this one is just like, I did this in, like, from the time that I found out I was doing it until the song was out with the cover was less than 24 hours. And so it was just like super stressful. And it was like a really legendary time because Lil Pump was in jail at the time, 03 Greedo is still in jail, Free Greedo, but there's this picture of them all in the studio except for Smoke Perp in these exact positions. And like, there's a picture of them that I used as reference the night that they recorded the song. There's a picture of all of them. And so I used their exact poses and then arranged them and then put them in the orange jumpsuits because they were in jail. That was Desto Dub's idea that he told me. And then, I stayed up all night and I fell asleep as it was dropping and my Instagram was like going crazy for one of the first times ever. So a lot of people have seen it, and so a lot of people made fun of the eyes and stuff, which is pretty cool. But it was fun to do. And then the last one I don't have on here, but for you guys to see, but it'll be out by the time that this video is out. So it's the new cover for Suicide Rascal's tape that is out now called "I Fucked Two Bitches for $60." In parentheses, they paid me. So go check that out. It's one of my favorite covers I've ever done. It's super ridiculous. So All All right. So Annie, we're gonna start with you for your favorite album cover that you wanted to talk about.
Oh God. Okay.
It's your definitive favorite, and it'll stand the test of time on the internet. So you know.
Pressure.
Say what you will. All right.
Okay, so I chose Blonde,
Blonde.
by Frank Ocean. First of all, like the font. The font is just like iconic. Like,
Right.
You recognize it anywhere it's used. Like that's
Definitely.
Frank Ocean's font. And then the picture, I think, oh God, I'm gonna like butcher his name. This is embarrassing. Like Wolfgang Tillmans, I think.
I wouldn't know it if I'm not sure if it's something.
It's, yeah. I don't know.
We're gonna look it up.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay.
Should I stop talking about it?
No, just keep talking. It's all good. It's a podcast. Keep talking. I'll look it up. Frank Ocean, blonde photographer. Keep talking. You got it.
Well, now I can't see it. Is it?
You got it right. You did.
Song. It's his song is included. So he's the one doing the Facebook thing. Is that it or no?
No, I think he photographed the cover of it.
This is the original blonde photo. Yeah, taken by Wolfgang Tillmans. There you go. You killed it.
Aha!
Yeah, there you go. Wolfgang Tillmans.
Said the ring was photoshopped. Is that what it said?
Is
Photoshopped off.
Taken before the ring was photoshopped off.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, let's see. Let's see the difference.
Oh
okay.
God, that would
so
suck
this is a
to
cover
have that
up.
job.
Oh, no, that's still there. Oh wait.
But it's a different ring.
Oh, it's a different ring.
Dude, you can tell though.
Huh.
Oh,
That's not that good of a job.
interesting.
Hire me for touch-up
Wow,
work
I've
if you guys
never
need it.
noticed that,
The
and
more you know.
Hey, that's sweet though. That's a good thing
Yeah.
to know about it. But yeah, Wolfgang Tillmans.
the photo itself, I feel like it's just it completely describes how the album feels. It's like crying in the shower. I don't know. I will always remember it.
Yeah, definitely. First time I saw it, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and fun fact, Pitchfork just named this the best album of the decade. Which I agree with, actually. I think it's my
Yeah.
favorite album that came out this decade. Cool. Mo, you want to go?
Yeah, I'll go.
So which one? You can
That
talk
one.
about both of them.
Yeah, I'll talk about that one. So like this
Cool.
one is Odessa's In Return. The reason why I like this the album is one of my favorite albums, so I kind of biased towards that. But the album cover, what I like about it, there's just so many layers in this picture that make what makes it. So like the very forefront is like the kid and like the
Yeah, the silhouette, yeah.
the silhouette of it. But like as you go, there's like you see the city, you see the woman, there's the clouds.
City from above, yeah.
But like there's like electric, what is it called, wires and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice those at first.
Yeah, exactly. There's the more you dig into it, the more stuff that you see. But like at first, I didn't even realize that until like I honestly probably like 3 months ago. That's how like I feel like organic it was. I've noticed the woman, but I didn't see all the details behind it. So like, I just think it just works so well together and it's so organic and like the colors are really good. That palette.
Yeah.
And it kind of fits the. If you haven't listened to it, it fits like the mood perfectly.
Awesome. All right, mine. Wow, it is blurry, stinky. PU. All right. Anyway, so cool. This looks terrible. There's a bunch of artifacts on here, but pretend you're looking at the best version of it. But this is an album called Sunbather by Deaf Heaven. Deaf Heaven is a black metal and shoegaze band. They put out this album in 2013. And what I like about there's a few things I love about this cover. First off, it doesn't look like it could be a black metal album.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that was my
not at
first
all.
intent, like black
Like-
metal. I was like, wow.
Like a lot of people say, like, oh, it looks like a synth pop album,
Yeah,
or something
exactly.
like that, like indie rock, indie pop, whatever. But it's they're like a super heavy band, tons of screaming and stuff. And the album cover was designed by, wow, I know his first name's Nick. Nick from Touche Amore. Forget his last name right now, but he's a really good graphic designer. And he came up with this concept because the album's called Sunbather, and he was picturing laying in a sun chair looking up at the sun, and it's supposed to mirror like what your eyelids look like when you look at the sun.
shit.
What?
So that's like a super cool like execution and clever way to think
Yeah.
about like designing
Wow,
this.
yeah.
And then he designed the typeface on his own, and so there's pieces missing from all of the
Yeah.
letters on it. So Sunbather, like all the tiny little parts are missing, and then he actually released the typeface so that people can buy it and use it for anything they want to use. So it's a super clever, amazing cover in my opinion,
So
and
simple.
super simple. And he also like like he's like a graphic designer by trade, and so he does like Selena Gomez album covers and stuff. So which is super funny. Like he just does like pop album covers, and then does this crazy like heavy, iconic heavy album.
For black metal.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So it's really cool. So that's always been my favorite since it came out. All right, so now what I've done is, now that we have our styles in place, I want to get your guys' opinions on some very iconic album covers. And we're just going to pop through them, and we're going to give our quick opinions, all right? First off, Yeezus, Kanye West, opinions.
I think it's dope as fuck.
You think it's dope?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, super memorable.
Yeah.
Like, you would know it anywhere.
This is like a runner-up for me. It's like one of my favorite of all time because it's just like so different. I love that it's like practical too. Like when you bought it, there's a sticker and the CD.
It's like a retro futuristic type of vibe.
Yeah.
So like, which is like where everything is going, I feel like.
Yeah. And this album is like one of my favorite albums of all time. And I know that's like weird, but I love Yeezus, and it's super like industrial and like breaks down what music is. And so it's just like.
Yeah. And whenever he dropped this, he's like, you see more like artwork that's like more packaged like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so like, definitely set a trend.
For sure. Yeah, emphasis on packaging was like a thing that, like, all right. Amazing. William Shatner, Ponder the Mystery. What do you guys think?
Oh my god.
How old is this?
Yeah, the font.
Alex, when did this come out?
I'm just gonna guess and say like 2014.
Damn,
No,
so
no,
really?
2015.
2015. Okay.
Still
yeah.
recent.
Oh,
Bill
look at
Shatner.
the chrome font.
Dude. This is sick. Alex added this to the deck, so I honestly didn't even see it and before this, but
and
it
like
is
the
fantastic.
star. What is
Oh.
this? What is happening?
Dude. Wow, the Photoshop
That's
job.
cut.
I never even
Yeah.
noticed how bad it was. That's amazing.
And this glare right here.
Yeah, look at these though. That's like he added the filter, whoever or he or she added the filter on this
this is
side,
light.
and then just
Instagram
this side, nothing.
No, complete
No
darkness.
stars on that side. This is sick.
Maybe it's represent duality, light and shadow.
Oh,
you know?
it's epically bad. This is so good, dude. Wow,
The
I
font,
love
I
this.
think we're ignoring the font. Look at that, like the futuristic font.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's like they
Even
looked
the
up.
title, Ponder the Mystery.
Have you heard the song Ponder the Mystery? It's a gem on YouTube.
He had to do it to them though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did have to do it to him. That's amazing. Wow. So that's amazing. William Shatner. Cool. All right. The Beatles.
Ooh.
The Black Album. Is that what it is? The Black Album?
Yeah.
No?
No, it is. Yeah.
It is.
Oh, okay. I was like, yeah, it's the Black Album. Graydon's shaking his head. All right, it's the Black Album. This is stupid. Too simplistic.
I think for that era, that move was probably.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't know. There's nothing. It's like too.
I can fuck with it, but like, cause like think about it, that era, it's like that's something very different back then. Like everything was like colorful and stuff, and they just like switched it up on them.
That's true. It's just a slit.
So
I hate
the
this
slant,
angle
lapis
and like
lazuli.
where it is.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like the bubble letters.
I bet they were just like.
I don't even think it's bubble letters. I think these are just tiny files. I think it's like.
Oh, it's just
you know,
really bad quality.
like almost like
no.
engraved looking or something. But anyway, yeah, I don't like
I
it.
feel like I would have to like really know the music.
story, like,
Also to like.
behind it, yeah.
Yeah.
But first impression is like, oh, what is that? But like if it was somebody
Yeah, I
else's
don't
name,
think I
like,
would
oh, this
remember
is
it.
dumb
Yeah.
too.
Like if it said like Imagine Dragons, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then I'd hate it more, even more. But
Yeah.
all right. Okay, here we go. We got to blur out the penis on this one, but Nirvana, Nevermind, very iconic album cover.
Very iconic.
Yeah. Who shot this?
I forget who shot it, but I know that the baby. There's like some deal with the baby, like where the baby was like mad about it or something.
Yeah, I think I've seen a picture of him like growing up.
Oh, that would be weird.
Babies are always crying, dude. Yeah, I think he recreated this though.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I mean, it's obviously iconic. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like I've never seen one that's probably like more mimicked. Like I think of people like
Yeah.
always do this, and like Abbey Road, you know, like walking across the, you know. But yeah, great
I
album
like,
cover.
like the font they use for like the Nevermind.
Oh yeah.
Like
Warped.
Warped.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the underwater.
I just wonder how they got the kid, like the approval, or like it's like let's find a kid, unless they know the person
Yeah.
whose kid is.
And I love the story that they put a sticker over
Yeah.
the kid's the penis when they sent it out to stores,
Gotcha.
record stores and stuff, so
Yeah.
they could display it in the windows and stuff. So, yeah, that's a super I mean, obviously iconic, you know, great album cover. All right, Joy Division, Is this Joy Division or is this the Vince Staples one?
Oh, it's Joy Division.
It's Joy Division. He copied it. I mean, he's straight up.
Really?
Yeah. He has like the same one on another cover. In Summertime '06. But this is another one, like, you see this on a million shirts.
Yeah.
You do.
And I think to me it's brilliant too, because it's like, it's so organic shape-wise that I couldn't ever have come up with it. You know what I mean? Like that's at least how I think.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
love all minimalistic like approaches to like cover art. Even though I don't do them, but I do like them a lot.
That's me too. I mean, I haven't done many simple album covers, but they're always the ones that stand the test of time.
But I did see that pattern or like that design so often to the point I recognize, but I don't know where it's from.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
just the Joy
yeah.
Division. Yeah,
Almost
Joy
like
Division
the
cover.
McDonald's like golden arch. It's like become an icon itself.
Yeah, that's the best ones, logos. Like, and nowadays I think memorable cover art is kind of like, that's the reason we remember Blonde.
Yeah.
Like that, or like, there's tons of album covers like that.
Oh,
Oh yeah, Kids See Ghosts.
yeah, I love it.
One of my favorites. Takashi Murakami,
Murdered
the
it.
legend. Yeah,
Beautiful.
I love that he took like his style to a different place for this one too. Like,
It's
he like watercolored.
Yeah.
Like actually watercolored.
Oh, I'm not familiar with his other work.
And you never see the watercolor stuff in like that style, like old Japanese stuff, like ukiyo-e style.
Yeah.
And it's like, most of the stuff's like wood blocks. Like he actually just like switched it up and did it with watercolors, which is dope.
Right. Yeah, his other stuff, like he did Graduation.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
and he's like he's a very prominent like clothing designer now too. Like he did collaboration with OVO. He sells like those flower pillows that everybody has. Like a lot of like celebrities will pose with like these flower pillows. It's all him, and he's just like an iconic Japanese designer. Inner Speaker, Tame Impala.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You would know it anywhere.
Yeah, and I love that this. I feel like I've seen this done after, but I had never really seen like this used on an album cover. The like photo manipulation
Yeah.
that was used in this one, and it's a super trippy album. So.
It's like a tracers, like.
I feel like all
Like
of
when
his
you
album
move.
covers
Oh
are
yeah.
like just
Fantastic. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Kevin Parker. He knows what he's doing, and he uses the same. I'm blanking on the typeface name right now, but I've used it a few times, but I think of Tame Impala every time I see
Yeah.
this typeface.
Yeah, I like how like when the title and like the name of the song are like at the top like that layout for like the typography.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that, but most people don't really like it. At least the people that I deal with, I try to propose it, and then they're like, no, do this.
I think that like a few years ago, like maybe even like 20, like this album came out like what 2011, I think, something or 2010, and I think that was very prominent then. The top like the smaller type in the top, like the corners and stuff, and then I feel like over time, like at least right now, I think a lot of people like centered, like
Yeah.
centered type and centered composition is like super popular. So, like Blonde, like that's like all the ones that stand the test, like of like or like define a time, seem to be the ones that everybody kind of falls in line with. So this one is censored because it's a fully nude photo. Well, from like the waist up of Sky Ferreira for her album Nighttime My Time, and it's taken by who's the dude who did Enter the Void? Do you guys know Enter the Void, the movie?
Yeah.
What's that guy's name?
I know you're talking about that.
You don't know? Yeah. Enter the Void director. Gaspar Noé.
Jasper.
He did this photo. So he directed this movie about like DMT, and it's like this like iconic like crazy fucked up movie. And then he took this photo, and it was the album cover, and then they censored it everywhere because it's like her topless for the album cover.
Yeah.
But I know that
It's cropped like this.
people like cropped it like that or like censored it. Like this is like the more common version I've seen, I think. But I know that I don't know if it was Gasper or Sky Ferreira who said this, but I know it was like about showing like the naked female form in like a non-sexual way was like the way that she wanted to like
To do it.
to
Gotcha.
like that was the statement that they were trying to make with the album cover.
Love like the color grading shit. It looks like the color grading that was done like in the Matrix. You know how like it's like greenish.
Yeah.
I like that. And that kind of gives it that same vibe. Like it kind of exists in the same world.
Yeah, it's very like
Yeah.
it's very dark and like sad and
Yeah.
haunting and it's a pop album, so it's very like it's a sad pop album, but it's a pop album. So I think it like is a good contrast. So this is Charlie XCX's new album, Charlie, Yeah, do you have any insight on how they might have done this? I'm sure it's,
Yeah, it's
is
3D
it's
for sure.
3D
Yeah.
for sure.
So, like,
Okay.
my guess, because there's different ways to approach this. So like my guess would be like they probably just use a model that that has like the same pose and just like sculpted on top of it. And after that, they might have just like probably mimic the same lighting on the actual scene, on the real life scene.
Interesting.
And just like did that in 3D, mimic those light and just textured it and just obviously like you probably have to put some Photoshop post work on that to make it look organic, but I think that's how it was done.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's kind of boring.
You think so?
Yeah.
I can see
mean-
that. I see
Yeah.
like in the pose style, like a lot of it is kind of you
Yeah.
know. But I think it's a cool concept because it looks so different than everything.
I mean, it just reminds me of like magazine covers that just shoot on like white blank walls so they can fill the space, you know? But
Gotcha.
then, I don't know.
Yeah. One thing I did like about this is like all the singles that she did. She had a bunch of features, and
I did see
and
that. Yeah,
she
yeah,
would
yeah.
do with the feature. They do a photo shoot and have something of
Oh,
this,
really?
like
That's
around
kind of
each
cool
of them in
to
different
like tie
ways.
them all together.
Yeah, and she dropped like 9 singles before the album. Like she did so many singles, so it was like a lot of different artwork.
Yeah, it's like that, like, what is it called, like 2055 aesthetic. I don't know if you. Yeah, it's like retro futuristic. It's like, I feel like we're like in the beginning of a cyberpunk era kind of thing.
Right.
And that's like they're slowly like involving technology with like the human body type of stuff.
And that's the style of
Yeah.
music that she makes, and
Yeah.
like she has a song on it called 2099 and a song
Yeah.
called 1999.
There we
And
go.
it's like about
Yeah.
like the retro and the
Yeah.
future
Yeah.
coming together. This is Malibu Anderson .Paak. Yeah, so this is like a, what's that guy's name, Grin? The collage artist? We were just talking about him yesterday.
Maximilian, what was it?
I don't know, something like that.
Isn't it Maximilian?
Maximilian Flores,
Something like that?
maybe. I could have made that name up. I have no
Yeah.
idea. But
I've
anyway,
never seen this. This is dope.
I haven't seen it like
Yeah.
like blown up like this.
It's
Yeah.
a great cover.
so it's a collage artist who makes all this stuff. So
That's dope
it's
as fuck.
super like layered, like cutout
Yeah.
stuff is kind of
Yeah.
like the vibe of it. But yeah, I've always really liked this album cover. I'm gonna be honest, I do not like the type at all. I
It's
think
like
the type,
too generic.
the type is super like blocky and
It's like
in weird
army,
spots.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it takes away from it. Like I honestly would love it if it was just
Just a
gone.
minimalistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it was just gone, I would think it would be a
Yeah.
better cover.
I agree.
And just put like a parental advisory there or there. Maybe. I think like it could anchor it down here, but they probably don't want to block this stuff. But yeah, I think this is just cool because it's so, again, so different. Like it
Yeah.
stands out. You'll always remember seeing this
Yeah,
cover.
for sure.
So this is Frankie Cosmos' Next Thing. I've always really liked this one because it's just kind of like a quirky illustration style.
Yeah.
Like it's like a first person. Like you
Yeah.
can kind of like imply that
Like she's like.
she's drawing it, you know? But
it's
it also
something like you see every day, like, you know, and
Yeah.
they just took it and flipped it.
and like things. There's so many details I love about it.
Oh,
but
this
like,
bag.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that too. The bag. This
The
is
thank
thank
you
you.
bag.
Yeah.
There's like little dog prints down here. There's like her looking.
I think that's like the backseat, right?
Well, no.
Oh, she's drawing.
The
Yeah, yeah,
passenger.
yeah,
yeah. That's her with the pencil.
Yeah,
And then,
that's
so
super
she probably
cool.
took the picture
Yeah.
and then drew
Drew it.
it from there. But then
Oh,
she put her name in the.
Did she do it?
I actually don't think that she did.
Oh, I like that there's like
I'm
the motion blur in the text.
Yeah.
Like next thing.
Oh yeah, like they're driving fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's
Super
like
Like
the
she used
only
the texture
indication.
instead of the actual motion blur. That I like that. Like if you zoom in, like she's actually textured it.
Yeah,
Versus
totally.
Because she could have just used the motion blur on Photoshop and call it a day.
Definitely. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's like painted
Yeah.
little quirky illustration. I've always really liked that cover. All right. DS2 Future Dirty Sprite.
Dirty spray.
I see an eye right there. Right there.
Oh yeah, dude.
That eye shape.
There's an eye.
I guess I've
you
never noticed that.
Yeah, I guess never layered. I guess you don't really pay attention to cover art. You just look at it like, oh, this is
Yeah.
cool or bad.
Yeah.
Unless
was a
you
photo.
analyze it.
Yeah, it's
I
really
wish-
photo.
I wish we could see it like not all pixely.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I also don't like this type.
Yeah.
It's just not my
When did this
style.
came out? 2015?
People love the like
something
the
that?
stacking.
What was this, 2014, 2015?
14.
DS2? Maybe 2013. I don't know. Yeah, around then.
Definitely different for its age.
Definitely, yeah. It looks like an electronic album, honestly.
yeah,
100%.
That's kind of
It
what
looks
I
like one of those like house, like generic house DJs that just like put out like a mixtape or something like that.
Right.
Ooh.
All right, so this is
Okay.
one of my favorites too. This is Baroness.
Is it James Jean? No.
Oh, I wish I knew. Who is it? I'm gonna look him up. And
It's a
see if
similar. I guess it's a similar style. Like James Jean. He's like a painter illustrator.
like that.
Jean, like with the pants.
Oh, okay.
Did you do the Yes album covers? Or this one? It's like the Avatar.
Like that one is a good example. For example, like the, or like actually he has one with dogs. Like if you type in like dog
Okay, James Jean Dogs.
illustration.
Whoops. Wow, my computer's tripping.
You can see somewhat that illustration. Like it's the same type of dogs. I feel like.
Yeah. Let me see who did this cover really
Yeah.
quick. Baroness album cover artwork.
Let's
Okay,
see.
so John Dyer Baisley is this
That's
person,
fire.
2015.
He would make some fire tarot cards.
Ooh,
Right,
yeah.
Yeah.
right. But I love
Oh,
that,
the
like,
bees. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
there's so
Sick.
many details in this one. It's like crazy. But yeah, it's like I like that it's like almost like a neo-traditional art style, like almost neo-realistic. Like it has super thick line work around the edges of things that like give it like this very like you can see everything that's
and
happening.
you can see like the medieval hatching. Like if you zoom closer to the arm, like there's like the hatching
Oh,
that's
yeah.
done. It's like definitely has like that medieval feel to it.
And the color palette is so tightly knit. Like it's all cool colors.
Yeah, the composition is nuts too. Like your eyes obviously goes to the middle, but like to the center, but like everywhere leads up to it.
Yeah. This person's probably a sick tattoo artist
Yeah.
if they did that. Because that's like a style a lot of people really like, I think.
I wonder if they use reference
That's kinda-
like for anything.
Is it just me or like
Absolutely have
that
to.
kinda
There's
looks
so much
like a
reference, I feel like.
sperm going into like an egg, like in the background?
Oh yeah, it does actually. Never thought about that.
Yeah.
actually. Wow.
What's the album called again?
Well, they're called Baroness, and I think the album's just called Purple.
Purple.
Is that right? Purple.
Purple, yeah.
Yep.
The nails and the bees. I wonder what the story is behind it.
Yeah. But they're a metal band, yeah, so this is a super colorful. A lot of like metal albums have really detailed
I like
album artwork, but this is sweet. Alright.
Oh, Flume skins.
Flume.
Yeah.
Yeah, is this 3D rendered or is this a photo?
Yeah, it's 3D rendered. So,
Okay.
like, yeah. So like the guy's like how do you even say it? Procedural or how do you say it?
Procedural?
Procedural.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like he doesn't like fully model it, but like he pretty much like makes it. I don't know how it works to be honest, but like he just like simulates it, and he just stops the simulation where it needs to be. And I guess that's composition works. And so like you see like this is like they just keep growing as they go.
Yeah.
So that's how like it simulates. So like it simulates as the egg, whatever, and like slowly keeps growing as a flower.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This is way above my head. I don't know
Yeah.
what you're saying, honestly.
It's dope though. Like
Yeah,
I
no,
forgot
it's
his
super
name.
cool, yeah.
Look up his name actually. He's pretty dope. I forgot his name, but like you just have to look it up.
Okay.
Flume.
Flume Skin album art.
He's been working with him for a minute. What's his name? Jonathan
Zawada.
He's Australian, yeah. Yeah, his stuff.
Oh yeah, look at it.
Oh,
Even his
whoa.
font type, yeah. Like if you go
Oh,
up.
it's like painterly.
Oh, okay. This is
Yeah.
that I know that typeface.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So he did all those like renders
Oh,
for it.
wow.
Yeah, in a certain way this like almost reminds me, I mean yours is like more complex, but it reminds
Yeah.
me of some of the lighting stuff
Yeah,
that you
yeah,
do.
he's definitely an inspiration because I love like most of my stuff is like more like pretty and like my personal work's more like illustrative and like colorful and stuff like that. But like I love like how you use like vegetation and like plants and
Yeah.
the lighting. Most of the time it's just lighting that does it.
I like the contrast of like something that's obviously rendered and like artificial, but uses like organic elements to kind of like ground it in something.
Yeah,
Like, it's
exactly.
like makes it feel like I don't know, like a whole
Even though
different
you-
world.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so this is Alex G, Sandy Alex G, DSU, which stands for Dream State University. And his sister paints his album covers, and they're super like whimsical old like PowerPointy like album covers, but they're painted. And so this is one of the weirdest ones, but I love certain things I love about it is like it is very like I don't know, it feels like fake, and then I love that
Yeah.
this all like implies a huge stadium
Yes,
full of
I love the
people,
stadium.
but it's just dots.
Dots,
like,
yeah.
and they all have like personalities, like it's all like, you know, there's something like very distinctly different
Yeah.
personalities about all of
Yeah.
this. And then the type is stuff like nothing I've ever seen. It's like
Yeah.
ugly, because because it's like 3D.
But it fits.
Like it's like 3D, but it's like
And there's
it's sweet. It's just dripping weird colors. Yeah.
And the colors are so good.
Yeah.
Chance.
Coloring book. I just think of it as iconic, but
Yeah.
I don't know that I
think
love
it's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly think it's a little bit like trying to sell the hat.
The hat,
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like
Yeah.
it says, like
Hat
he knew
sales.
Product placement.
he had a game plan beforehand. Like, well, unless he like, he's like, you know what, I could use this.
Hat
Like,
sales.
Yeah, hat sales.
It seems like they kind of threw it together like last minute kind of thing. Like
I don't think they did just because it ties in with the last two, like it's like with Acid Rap and 10 Day. Like they're all paintings of him in like photographic
is this
style.
a painting? I
think
can't
it
tell
is.
because it's
I think it is.
pixelated.
I think those are all paintings for those album covers, but they're like super detailed, like photorealistic paintings kind of. Kids Egos is on here twice, so
Wow.
It's that good.
yeah. Okay, this one, Drake. If you're reading this, it's too late.
I think this is annoying.
You think it's annoying?
Well, it's just like
I remember
I
when this
mean,
came out.
yeah.
It
I don't know. I just the font. I just don't like it. I just don't like it.
It's so like of the decade though, because it's the most memeable thing ever.
It
like,
is,
like
it
right
is.
away, people were like already typing stuff out, like whatever. And I don't know, like
The hands.
the logo at the
You
bottom.
never know. It could have been like a good marketing tactic too. It's like, people will meme the fuck out of this.
Oh,
Like,
that's like all of his album covers.
yeah.
If you look at them, like views, like people were photoshopping him on
him.
little things,
Yeah.
You're
Like he does it
totally
every
right.
time. But
It's calculated.
there's a fun fact about this one though. When it came out as a surprise, and Earl Sweatshirt. If I don't like shit, I don't go outside. That album cover is like black with white type.
Yeah.
Super grimy. He had his album ready to go, and he was gonna drop as a surprise, and it was white with black type, and he changed it because this came out first. So this dropped as a surprise, and he changed it
Really?
because he was like, it's gonna
Last
look
second.
as like too similar.
Oh my
and so
God.
he like inverted it to black with white type. So I think it's just funny. I don't know. Like this one, it just rings to me as like the most memeable thing he was.
Yeah,
No,
but so
yeah.
indifferent.
Like you remember it, I guess.
yeah, you
like,
remember it for sure.
Yeah.
I'm just indifferent about it, to be honest.
Blonde was on
Yeah.
here too, so we talked about that.
Yeah.
I had one last one that I didn't put in the deck, and then we'll call it a day. But let's see
I'm
here.
surprised you didn't have any Travis Scott's one.
I did not. You're right.
Ooh.
So this one's one of my favorite illustrators on Instagram, Gallery Province. He does all these covers, and he did Baby Smooth, who's from Detroit. It's called Mr. Perfect, but his stuff is crazy. He's from somewhere else. He's from like Germany or something. I don't even know, honestly. But he's not from America, because I know he was like talking about how he just came over and like met a bunch of the rappers that he worked with. But super detailed cartoon style,
this is
like
crazy.
Yeah, even like the lighting, he nails it too.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has like the lighting from the bottom
Yeah, like
that
yeah.
hits like with the So
Like the detail, like the more you look at it, like the more you get to see small. I even see like that one in the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Just more stuff.
yeah,
Here. And all the carvings.
his stuff scares me because it's like I don't know how he does so many of these. Like he has like his work ethic is crazy because he puts out like a bunch of different album covers all the time. And I'm like, this must be taking you. I don't know what you're on. This dude's on meth. Like, what? How does he get all this done? So yeah, and like just
It's all painted too, right?
yeah, and just from my perspective, like knowing how long my covers take, I'm like, I don't know.
How long did they take? Because like I was always wondered that.
Too long, dude. Way too long. I don't know, like I draw it all out and then I have to scan it and then I Photoshop the levels to get it like perfect line drawing into
Yeah.
Illustrator, Live Paint, do all the shading and tinting on top of my trackpad,
Yeah.
and then like detail like Photoshop work, or like I'll make a Photoshop like adjustment layer and throw it in,
And-
like all that stuff.
And usually you do your own fonts too. So like
Yeah.
like it's not like you just find a font and like tweak it, which that's what I do.
Yeah, I draw out almost every font that I use.
Yeah.
Not every single one, but a lot of them, because I like to do that. And so does he. He does a lot
Yeah.
of at least like manipulating the font to. I mean, this is a font that he built on top of, but he makes it like iconic.
So
Like,
what's your longest like art cover you say? Like
the longest I took on one? I have one coming out for Little Fago and Rossi that took forever. That one took a really long time. And then I would say a lot of Little Fagos are for some reason I've done a lot of like, a lot of different stuff in those covers. So I think a lot of those have been the longest probably. That's probably it. Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, a lot of the other ones I've had to, like, that are complex, I had to rush. So, like, the other one, these ones, like, the Little Fago and Rossi one, I'll say, is probably the longest collective hours I've spent on a cover.
You find it hard time, like, when you draw the faces, like, mimicking their likeness?
Sometimes, or less so over time. Yeah. I've gotten better at it. Because a lot of the time I would, I was getting too close to it. So, like, I feel like I can do a likeness that's very realistic, but it doesn't really fit my style that well.
Gotcha.
And so finding their likeness away from what they actually look like has been like the challenge, which I'm getting better at. I think I've like noticed almost like from a character artist perspective, like realizing what their features that stand out are and how to include them.
Like the main shapes, then you just like tweak them.
And I use like negative space a lot to find out stuff, but then like obviously my eyes are so like warped that they like fuck up the faces, so I have to like adjust for that. And and I don't want to like make fun of anybody for having like big ears or something, so I I just kind of go off of a like shape like that. But yeah, for sure.
How long do you spend on?
Me?
Yeah, I have no frame of reference for anything.
For my
in 3D.
stuff, it really so like with 3D, it's easy to get down the idea. Like just like if you want like a person doing this, like holding this, whatever, it's super fast to get the idea down. Then the longest part, honestly, is like texturing, finding the composition right, and like. I mean, that's pretty much it, like texturing, lighting, composition, then like the details.
I'm sure it's detail, a lot heavy, detail heavy.
Yeah, it's more technical more than anything. Like you can, like you get down like the creative idea quick, but like just to make it look good, that's where like you spend a lot of like time just like tweaking numbers, changing like the maps for like the textures and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So like, for example, I have, for like my personal work, because I have like a workflow for them, I can get one out probably like 3-4 hours max. Like an illustration that's like my personal work, but I have like a workflow that's speed up the process. But like for like a cover art, I mean, like if I dedicate a whole day, maybe a day and a half, it's pretty much done. Depends on like how complex it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
You don't do much editing. You do like a lot of in camera.
Oh yeah, all my stuff is in camera.
Yeah.
Secret.
That's see, that's crazy though, because a lot of it looks so edited. Like it looks so like you would have to layer. You would have to like,
all
you know what I mean?
Camera.
Yeah. Well, that's lucky. You have a lot of free time. That's why you did.
I hate post. Like I hate editing.
That's why you did.
The worst part.
What'd you do? 21 shoots last month?
Oh, it was like 25 or 6 or something.
There's 30 days in a month, folks.
I've done 100 shoots this year.
100 shoots this year.
Awesome.
Jesus. That's crazy. Yeah. I have not done that. I haven't done 100 covers this year, I'll tell you that.
Well, it takes you guys way longer.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's just the way it goes, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Different styles.
Different styles, yeah. All right, well, plug yourselves, and then we'll head out. Annie, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Annie Noelker.
It's on the screen.
On the screen.
Thank you.
It's on the screen, right?
No, if you're gonna spell mine.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh yeah, spell it out.
Oh, spell it out?
No, it'll be
I
on the
was about to
screen.
say,
It'll be on the screen.
Well,
You guys
can
both
find-
have names that are kind of hard to
You
spell.
can find me on Instagram, Mo Elkholti. That's all socials. So like easy to find. Find it right here, whatever.
Oh yeah, you can point wherever. I'll put
on
it
his
there.
face right here.
Right there. All right, I want to thank Annie and Mo for being here. In the comments, tell us your favorite album covers, and follow them. Follow up. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. All right. Thanks. Bye bye.